The phone's vibration against the kitchen counter jolted me awake, but it wasn't the call itself that stole my breath. It was the message preview. I can't stop thinking about you. My hands trembled, my chest tightening as if someone had pressed a fist against it. At first, I laughed nervously. Maybe it was a joke, a wrong number, but the seed of doubt had already been planted, and it clawed at the fragile calm I had been holding on to. I sat there, staring at the screen, my eyes tracing the familiar handwriting of her name in the notifications. Clara. My Clara. The woman I had built my world around. The woman I had trusted with the corners of my soul. I didn't even show myself. I should have thrown the phone, smashed it against the tiles, but I didn't. Something inside me whispered to wait, to watch, and that whisper was the beginning of my undoing. The early signs had been there, subtle and almost laughable at first. A lingering glance at her phone, a sudden distance in her touch. The way she laughed a little too brightly at messages I couldn't see. I had rationalized them, whispered to myself that I was overthinking. Maybe she was stressed, maybe it was just her way of hiding fatigue. But now, staring at the message, I felt the invisible threads of my trust unraveling. I followed the trail carefully, my heart hammering in the quiet house. The creak of the staircase beneath my feet sounded like thunder. In her study, I found it. A folder labeled innocuously, hiding texts, photos, little reminders of a life I wasn't part of. My fingers shook as I opened it. Each message, each photo, felt like a knife slicing through my ribcage. She wasn't just distant. She was elsewhere, elsewhere in heart, body, and mind. I confronted her that night. The living room smelled of rain-soaked air, and the faint trace of her perfume. Something sweet I had loved, now suffocating. Clara, I said, my voice catching. Who is he? She froze, eyes wide, searching mine. There was no excuse in her gaze, just a flicker of fear and remorse. It's complicated, she whispered, each word a splinter in my chest. Complicated. My laughter was hollow, bitter. We promised. We swore everything. My voice shook, not from weakness but from the fury and heartbreak clawing up my throat. Her confession spilled in fragments, a mosaic of guilt, longing, and dissatisfaction I had never noticed. She spoke of loneliness, of attention she hadn't realized she craved, of moments I had overlooked in the blur of work and life. Each word twisted the knife, because they were honest, but they were also betrayals I couldn't forgive. I left the house that night, the rain soaking my coat and hair, but it did nothing to wash away the truth. I walked streets lined with the amber glow of streetlights, their reflections rippling on puddles like shattered mirrors, each one showing a piece of the life I thought I had. Days passed, and I watched her from the edges of my life, a ghost in our home, a stranger in our bed. The betrayal wasn't just in her actions but in the spaces she had created between us. The hollow echoes of laughter, the absence of trust, the weight of secrets. Weeks later, I found a letter she had left, carefully folded, on the kitchen counter. I never wanted to hurt you, but I needed to find myself outside of us. The words were an apology, but they weren't salvation. They were a monument to loss, a quiet testament to a love that had been fractured beyond repair. I stood there, trembling, the rain finally seeping through the cracked window. And in that silence, I understood something. Love doesn't always conquer all. Sometimes, it just leaves you with the echoes of what could have been. And the haunting knowledge that even the deepest oaths can be broken.